Guys, JB here. Apple versus Samsung. That's what we're going to get into today. I've got the Apple iPad that I've been using, and then the Samsung Ultra tablet, and then the S22. I believe it's the Ultra versus the iPhone. Been rocking and rolling both of these for the last month. I want to talk a little bit about them. Before I do, yes, I moved. I actually got a really good offer on my home. It was crazy, so I moved into a new home. At the end of the video, I'll kind of show you the new studio setup. So for a couple weeks, I've been out of action, but we're going to be getting back to it a lot here. So first of all, before I even get it, I know I'm going to get a ton of comments saying, you're an Apple fanboy or you're a Samsung person or whatever. Look, at the end of the day, whatever ecosystem you're in is really what this is about. If you've watched my videos on the Remarkable 2 and the e-ink devices, Supernote, it's really about where you fit within the structure of the ecosystem. Like they have put this system together so that you don't leave, Apple specifically more than anybody. But there's some really good and bad things going on here, and I want to go over them, kind of tell you where I ended up, okay? So the Samsung, when we talk about the hardware, I obviously love the Samsung. I believe the screens are just clearer. It's just an awesome device on both devices. I love the landscape view of this tablet. It's just awesome. And I think that the hardware and the iPad there, I like the hardware of the Samsungs. I really do. I like their cameras. I like the tablet. I like the video from it. I think it's just superior. The one thing that the iPad has over on the tablet is the keyboard. I have to tell you, Samsung needs to redo this keyboard. It is terrible. It's not lappable. I don't like it. It is the one negative that I'm going to get you. I love the screen. I love everything about it. But this dang keyboard for the price, it just sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. Why they don't come up with something like the iPad and do something like this? This is lappable. And what I mean by that is if you got to go into the library, and you know what I mean, the library, and you're working in here, right? You want something you can set on your lap. And this actually works really good. This thing just doesn't. It's got like a flap on it, and I just can't stand it. With that being said, with the Samsung, if you do get this phone, I would get the little kickstand because it is awesome to watch videos with this stand on it. It actually does a really good job. So hardware wise, the Samsung has it down except for the keyboard. I mean, it's just a much better device. Writing experience, okay? Again, a no-brainer. The S Pen from the Samsung is far superior to me than the Apple Pencil. I've got an iPad mini with the screen protector on it that I use sometimes, but this just works so much better. The S Pen works real well. Where you store it is awesome, just works great. Again, the iPhone doesn't have one. The S22 has this stylus in it, and I actually love it. You can click it. It works amazing. I just think they're killing it in these two areas. So the writing, definitely go with Samsung. The hardware, definitely go with Samsung. Now, here's the issue. When it comes to software and the operating system, this is the problem. It's Android, and the apps all don't work for the Samsung tablet. It gets all wonky. I've tried the internet, I've tried Chrome, and some of the apps and some of the stuff doesn't work that good, where on the iPad, everything just works. Same thing with the phone. Sometimes I find myself getting lost in here and trying to figure it out. So what I'm doing as far as my use case, and that's what this channel is about. You can get in the comments and yell at me, but it's like I just talk about what I use. There's obviously so many channels you can go get tech stuff on and all the specs. That's not what this is about. I'm about productivity. That's what I coach. I coach, professional athletes, and I coach people that are looking to get things done quickly, right? I want stuff that works. And so when it comes right down to it, the issue is the software. The Android works. I mean, it's getting there. I've been using it the last month. I'm going to continue to use it. But what I've done is I now have a data only in the Samsung. So I'm using it for data, and I got the same SIM card that you can use in the iPad, right, or in a tablet. And basically now this phone is data-based. So I can use WhatsApp, and I can use basic functionality for data, watching videos, that type of stuff out and about. It actually works really good. But when it comes to the daily driver, it's the iPhone. I still can't get over the software issues. In fact, when I was going through the move, I was using the Samsung, and I took the SIM card out and put it in my phone because I couldn't communicate. It wasn't working the way I wasn't. Now, Could that be nativity for me and not using it enough? That could be in just I can't speak. The familiarity. Somebody in the comments tell me what that is. The way that I'm used to the iPhone, that could be the issue, right? So I'm just so used to it, it just works. So I took the SIM card out and put it back in here so that when I was moving and dealing with movers, it just worked for me. Same thing when it comes to the tablet. I love this tablet and I just can't stand the keyboard. So what happens is I tend to grab the iPad with the floating keyboard more than I grab the Samsung, even though I like this as a device. And some of the apps don't work. Now, if they could get the software just a little bit better, and again, that's on Android, not on Samsung, then we've got a winner there. I think they would kick their butt. I mean, I honestly do. And if you're in the Android ecosphere and didn't have the Apple and weren't with Apple for years and years like me, then you wouldn't probably even notice these little subtle usage issues that I'm having, that I'm like, God, it just works on Apple and it doesn't work on the Samsung. Why am I running into this? All my regular apps, even like Evernote, has some little bit of issues on the tablet, where the iPad, it just works. Again, it seems like a lot of these app companies optimize for the Apple and not so much for Android, and you run into some issues. And let me know in the comments below if that's what's happening for you. Today, I'm not going to shoot a bunch of B-roll because I just moved in the studio and I just wanted to get this out and give you kind of my opinion on these areas. But again, you can't go wrong with these. In fact, let me just put it this way. If I didn't have the experience with the Apple that I have, I think I would go with the Samsung. The cameras, the hardware, the writing experience is so awesome, except for the keyboard, right? The stylus is so cool, being able to click and take photos with it. What great hardware stuff. But when it comes to day-to-day usage, it gets handicapped by the software that's just got to get there just a little bit more to get me to give up my Apple stuff. If they can get that software up, and that meaning Android, can get it just a little bit better and get these, and I think they're going to, I think that the daily driver would move to the Samsung. But for now, the daily driver that I typically grab is going to be the iPad and the iPhone, because it just works for me and everything just works synergistically within the framework of the system. So I don't have anything really negative to say. I mean, if I look at the whole concept of the Samsung, the hardware, the writing experience is far superior. If we could just get a new keyboard, I would be extremely happy. I would be using this constantly, and I'm going to still use it. But the iPad and the Apple phone just works, right? They just work, and I don't have any issues. And I mean, everything works within the framework of that system. In fact, when I'm copy and pasting, goes right to my Mac Pro. So there's just so many benefits of the Apple that I can't move to the Samsung full time. But again, I will get a bunch of B-roll and put together some videos for you, but I'm in a move. I wanted to show you the new studio. This is kind of what I've got set up now, so you can kind of see, and we'll get back to videos. I've got a week in town, then I got to go to Cabos to some business meetings down south, and then I'll be back, and we'll get back to regular scheduled videos for the community here that's really actively involved. And I appreciate you, and again, I apologize that we didn't get, I've had to move, right? It was crazy. I got an offer on my home that I couldn't refuse. So as always, thank you for watching. Here's a little bit of the B-roll of the studio that we're moving into. You can kind of see I set it up the same. I've got one office for my audio. As you know, I do Morning Coach, and I've done 4,500 podcasts. That's where I do that. And then I've got the video studio set up. So we're going to be ready to start rocking and rolling. I got a ton of stuff to go over. I got to get in depth into these devices. But I wanted to give you a quick overall briefing of the difference between the two. I don't think you can go wrong with either of them. It's just, what are you used to using? The hardware and the experience with the Samsung's great. Please get me a new keyboard, and the Apple stuff just works. So it's great. So, hey, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being a part of this, and there's a lot more coming now that I'm kind of settled in to the new place and we can rock and roll. So go have a fantastic day as always, and we'll see you in the next video. Go do it to it.